private consortium, constantly caught in different forms of chicanery and corruption. They have cameras all over Texas, literally watching people, microphones, their own spy networks. And this has all come out. But I've also got some friends who had worked in security there who confirmed that this is going on. They have a more extensive camera system in Central Texas than even the feds do. And that's just one microcosm of what's happening all over the country, all over the world. This is a continuity of agenda system. That's a good way of putting it. Where whether it's England or Australia or Germany or Japan or Mexico for that matter, the same system is being put in and is administered the same way. So the globalists come in the name of security, so they can stage terror attacks, so they can shut down infrastructure, so they can sabotage their competitors. That's what the NSA, the CIA are all about. I mean, you go back 60 years, the CIA over and over again, going into third world countries, releasing bioweapons on crops, releasing locusts, releasing weevils, poisoning water supplies, sabotaging dams that were supplying power. And they do this to countries that aren't even against the United States, but are against the globalists. If they say no to a Fortune 100 coming in and taking over their government, they get assassinated, they get bombed, or rebel groups get funded to then attack or overthrow the government. The CIA stages black ops, false flags, and then blames it on the governments. Or if they don't like the rebels that are in a country, they do it and blame it on them. This is all declassified. We're reporting on what this corporate Borg that's taken over our government is doing. That's what's important. This is not our government. People say, how dare you say our government's staging terror attacks? How dare you say they staged the Gulf of Tonkin? Well, that's declassified. We've been under this corporate governorship since 1913, but they didn't have full control then. They still don't have full control. But with the unlimited trillions they're able to get tax-free, they've been able to position themselves to have almost complete domination over the planet right now. Now they want to dominate the individual, chemically, psychologically, spiritually. So I want to go ahead as we go to break and play a clip from international television with one of the minions of the Chertoff group, the folks bringing you the naked body scanners and the rest of it. A known group connected to Israeli intelligence big time. I mean, Chertoff's mommy and daddy were both top Mossad and ear gun operatives. And here they are just throwing it in your face. Go ahead and play that clip.
Report out about a new computer virus that may be aimed at destroying a bricks and mortar facility. The virus is called Stuxnet, and according to the Financial Times, it may be aimed at Iran's controversial nuclear facility. Joining us now is Richard Falkenrath. He is principal of the Chertoff Group and a Bloomberg contributing editor. He has also been a White House advisor on security. Richard, thanks so much for being with us this morning. First of all, how does this virus work?
So this virus attacks the SCADA systems for industrial facilities, and that means supervisory data and control systems. What it does is it originally started with a USB drive. Someone would take an infected USB drive, stick it into a computer, and then it propagates through the system. It's a worm, which means it propagates by itself. It keeps moving through the system, and it hides its tracks.
But, Richard, I mean, does it have to be placed there? It seems like it does.
It started with, we think it started with a USB drive that was physically connected to one of the machines, and then it went itself through the network. And the techie people who analyze this think this is one of the most sophisticated pieces of malware they've ever seen. And the reason for that is it's using stolen certificates, the legitimate digital certificates that real companies use to identify themselves when they communicate. They were stolen. And then it exploits 4 previously unknown vulnerabilities in the Windows operating system. These are called day zero vulnerabilities. And the theory is, among the security experts, is that this took the resources of a nation state to create a piece of malware this sophisticated.
Well, Richard, I was going to ask you about that because I'm reading this article as well. I read it said well-financed, highly organized team had to put it together. What are the chances that the U.S. created it? And I'm asking you that because it seems like Iran has the most infections out there.
That's right. Iran has by far the most infections, followed by India and Indonesia. And it is theoretically possible that the U.S. government did this, but in my judgment is a very remote possibility. More likely, frankly, is Israel, that Israel did it. It's not impossible that some group of hackers did it.
We're going to go to break. They have the secret codes to Windows. You understand that? They can bring down the entire world system with this.
The economy is crumbling, debt soaring, and the possibility of World War III is increasing. I started survivalistseeds.com from my dining room table with a small bucket of seed and a single rotating banner ad on prisonplanet.com. 2 years later, we've sold over 40,000 pounds of heirloom seeds, becoming the largest bulk seed seller to the public. The majority of our customers are Alex Jones listeners. Now I'm offering 50 all-organic garden varieties, 10,000 heirloom seeds, a garden planner, and a CD teaching you how to save seeds, so your children's children will always have healthy food. Don't wait until it's too late. I'm Big John Lipscomb, and my company is survivalistseeds.com.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 Sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 Sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Making the right decisions is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth, slide into a recession, or at worst, depression? Hi, Ted Anderson from Midas Resources. We all know when a company acts irresponsibly, divesting ourselves in a move towards safety is prudent. When the market becomes volatile, U.S. Treasuries are a safe haven. But what do you do when the U.S. government overextends itself and spends beyond its means? Many investors are turning toward gold as a common-sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas Resources has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold, discussing costs, benefits, risks, featuring full-color illustrations, weights, and measures. The book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold's 6,000-year history. Discover how gold may be right for you and your IRA by calling 800-686-2237. Whether buying or it's time for you to sell, the book is free. Call 800-686-2237.
Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill, and I had high blood pressure, high blood sugar, poor vision, and I really wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess, pretty much.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract, and from within a few days, I started sleeping a lot better. My blood pressure normalized, my blood sugar normalized, and my sleep really did improve.
Experience these benefits and more when your body gets what it needs with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
And folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
Man thinks 'cause he rules the earth, he can do with it as he...
All right, listen to me carefully. You have this Stuxnet false flag launched. They're now using it as a pretext to have even more Pentagon Homeland Security control over the entire infrastructure of the Internet and over all applications that are used on the Internet. That's what's in the Cybersecurity Act. And it only announces in the Act what's already been done, what's already been engineered in. It was DARPA that funded the creation of the Internet. It was DARPA that funded much of what modern IBM has done the last 40 years and Microsoft in the last 30-plus years. And that's why this is so dangerous, because they're reporting that it has a zero-date exploit, meaning they discovered it after it was already launched, so they couldn't create a patch. It's already out there and changing. It's very sophisticated, and it has the core programming, the secret codes, basically, of Microsoft, and they've never had a worm that was able to basically exploit the secret inner workings, is the way IT people are describing it. And this shows you down the road, when the Pentagon talks about internet dominance and shutting down anybody that criticizes the world government and anybody that criticizes the big mega banks that run this, that under the Cybersecurity Act, it takes high school students, college students, as part of the National Compulsory Service Act, and makes them become trained operatives of the federal government. They're basically just taking the general public and turning them into spies to, quote, then go out and attack enemies of the United States, when the globalists are actually our arch enemies from within, and to hack and to write worms, and to go out and post on message boards and to stir up trouble and infighting. It's a full spectrum of different types of attacks: propaganda attacks, hack attacks, worm attacks. And it gives you an example of how the globalists can shut down large portions of the web whenever they want, and they can have their spies that are embedded in every major government, these corporate global spies that work through governments, can go in and basically sabotage any key infrastructure they want, and then come out and say, oh, we don't know who did this, give us more power. But in this case, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, Bloomberg, that we played a clip of earlier, the full clip's up at prisonplanet.com right now, they just come right out and say, yeah, this looks like Israel. You got a guy from the Chertoff group that basically speaks for Israel telling you that he thinks it's Israel and the experts think it's Israel, just as an open threat, a stick in the eye. And then simultaneously, you can type into Google, Stuxnet worm, why we need cybersecurity. And they're all over the news, media, pundits, government operatives, shills, spokespeople, proxies, promoting this. So here's another false flag in your face. They're even basically admitting it. Kind of like the CIA came out 3 months ago and said, yeah, we produced fake bin Laden videos. They came out, 4 or 5 months ago on CNN, Fox, AP. Yeah, we helped grow the opium in Afghanistan. Now, they don't just deny things. They come out and say, okay, we're setting up a world government. Yeah, we're going to take all or part of your pension funds. Okay, we have produced vaccines, chemicals and compounds we add to vaccines that reduce fertility. Yeah, just all public, yeah. What you going to do about it? Because they know the general public cannot focus on serious issues. People were put in their diapers in the last 50 years in front of television sets. They were raised by all these mindless, pap-filled programs. And so their culture, and this is going on worldwide, is one of being childlike, arrested development fools. So the system is so arrogant, they come out and say, yeah, Western governments launched this. We don't like Iran. They deserve it. But by the way, this shows you the threat to our infrastructure, so we're going to take over the internet even more. And the Cybersecurity Act is so widespread. I mean, there's so many things it does. It also will make anyone involved in any type of internet technology position, any IT professional, to take at least 6 months of upfront government-certified federal government training, totally federalizing the internet at that point, and several weeks a year of continuing education where you're brainwashed and put on a power trip and given your security clearance. That's in the news today. Turned into a little minion. Oh, you're free market. You know, you work for the local internet company, but you're also a federal officer. And most people just love it. They just love the fact that, you know, they're James Bond now, even though they weigh 400 pounds and can't get out of their easy chair. This is the Stasi East German culture. It's why the government hired Marcus Wolf, the former head of the Stasi, 7 years ago to help set up Homeland Security before he died. Paid him over $1 million in 1 year alone. And so now, if you want to have any IT job under federal law, you now become a federal minion. Think about that.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.